Hello, for those that haven't been following, my name is Sergeant Dave Bessison. I'm in charge of the canine unit here in Winnipeg. This week's been a big week for the pups. Lots been happening. 4 days ago on Monday, we actually weaned the pups off the breeding female. So she's now back with one of the quarries that actually raised her. So now we're actually taking care of the pups. So now the pups are actually fed 3 times a day. And what we actually started doing is actually on Monday was the first day as well for the pups to be outside, which is a big day for them. It was pretty, in the pups world, it's a lot going on. So now we're feeding them 3 times a day. What we do is we take the puppy food, we put it in the bowls, we use warm water, and we let the food soak up the water so it's soft. And once it cools off a bit, then we take the food outside, we'll feed the pups. And you'll see that they're hungry right now because we haven't fed them since this morning. So we'll see how things go. And then we'll probably go outside, we'll do some testing as well later once the puppies eat. So we'll start getting ready here, and probably about 15-20 minutes we'll end up feeding them. So pretty well what the pups are eating right now is probably about 4 to 5 cups. We make sure that they actually have more than enough to eat. So what we actually look for is the amount of food that once they're finished eating, we have a bit left over. So once they end up eating it all, we add extra food throughout the week. So that should be enough food for them. So what we'll do is we'll pour the water in so it makes like a mash, almost like to the point where it's oatmeal. That's kind of the consistency that we're looking for. Okay, so we'll let that sit for 10-15 minutes. We'll let the food soak up the water. Then we actually mash it with a fork or a potato masher so it's a nice consistency. Then we'll get ready to feed the pups. As you can, I don't know whether you can hear, but in the background they're chirping back there, so we can tell they're getting hungry. Okay, so we've let the food sit about 15-20 minutes now. So a lot of the water's been soaked up. So we're just going to mash it here for a couple of minutes just to make it easier for the dogs to digest. By next week, slow progression. What we'll do is we'll just put the water in, leave it, and probably by day 49 to 56, we won't put water at all. So they'll actually be eating dry kibble by then. So we'll just mash it up here a bit, each of them, just make it a little bit easier for them to digest. Like I said, sometimes you use a potato masher, works well. Right now we just have a fork. So like I was saying, we actually feed them 3 times a day right now. They're really growing lots. I'm sure you'll see from the footage of last week, they've grown quite a bit. So their body weight is probably about 30% that they put on at this point. So they're really growing fast. On Monday was the first time they're outside. We started feeding them outside on Tuesday. So from now on, what we do is they're always fed outside or in a different environment to get them more socialized. That's the biggest thing with a young police dog. So we'll head outside now, then we'll have the pups follow us, and we'll have some fun. That's it, guys. Good. Good. There you go. There you go. Good. Good. So as you can see, they're feeding pretty good. One of the biggest things that we like to do is actually touch our dogs and make them used to being touched while they're feeding. You see a lot of dogs, especially with food possession issues, that once you feed them, they'll really protect their food. So what we want to make sure is the dog gets used to being touched, taken away from the food. We'll actually move the food away from them to get them used to that. So it's not a big issue, and we start them really, really young. Probably next week what we'll actually start doing is actually feeding them on a slippery surface as well. Biggest thing with a police dog is flooring issues. Slippery floors, really shiny floors. You see dogs really shut down when they see their own reflection in the floor. So what we'll do is we'll actually take a piece of plexiglass or Teflon and have them start feeding on a slippery floor as well.